All ready to do the newspapers. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Daddy Ruru.
Yeah, and we do know Mama V is taking some leave of absence.
Lucky her, right?
Tackle some personal issues.
Eh? What personal issues? Why? What?
And Mama V saw that the increased fuel prices now just took leave of absence to tackle some personal issues. Because of fuel.
Yeah, so she's working on raising money for fuel.
Oh no, I'm not sure. Maybe working with MPA to negotiate for it.
To negotiate for the fuel prices to come down. Mama B is on her annual leave.
And the OMCs.
Yeah.
All right.
She's on her leave. Actually, later in the month, Mama B will be on that trip with Adansi Travels.
Yeah.
So she'll be going to Singapore, Indonesia, and
Malaysia.
No, Singapore, Malaysia, and Dubai, right?
Ah, okay.
Singapore, Malaysia, and Dubai.
Singapore.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But should we get the weather real quick before we get into it? Papa Ni Clegg is a PRO of the Ghana Meteorological Service. Joins us now. Papa Ni, good to hear from you. What's the weather like this morning?
Okay, good morning. The southern part of the country, that is Tema, Adan, Accra, stretching to Cape Coast, Port Takrade, and Axim, will be partly cloudy with early morning mist or fog patches with sunny intervals. Similarly, Akachi, Mandu, Agbozume, Sugankope, and its environs will be partly cloudy. Mountainous and forest areas, that is Eburi, Pipiapim, Latte, Manfin, towards Kufuria and its environs, will be mostly cloudy with chances of rain this afternoon. Places such as Odan, Kidi, Akwetia, Samankesi, and its environs will be partly cloudy. For the northern portions of the country, Tamaliwa, Poli, Nabrungo, Bogatanga, and its environs will be hot, slightly hazy, with few clouds. This is what we have for you by way of weather this morning.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Papa Ni. And of course, he'll be back tomorrow with even more. Right now, though, we've got the papers. I've got about 5 of them right here. The Daily Statesman, Ghanaian Times, Daily Guide, The Finder, and The Dispatch. What have you got?
Go straight business today, the Ghanaian publisher, then we have the Independent, the new publisher, and then the Ghanaian...
I think you've got 2 Ghanaian publishers. Yeah. That's all right, no problem.
That's all right.
Okay, well, shall I get started?
Yeah, please get started.
Okay, the Daily Statesman has these. Banner headline, visitors rush for visas as year of return attracts huge swell of interest in Ghana. An interesting story in there. They are citing private research. But the numbers are interesting. If they are true, we have a lot of thinking to do. Mahama may be nice, but he's incompetent. Baumia jabs. Oh, goodness. It's like deja vu, right? It's ringing a bell all over again. The things we were hearing before the election. Incompetent. It seems we're back. Okay, Goyle's star shines bright. Goyle's star still shines bright. It's also on the front page. Ghanaian Times next. Let's do that real quick. Banner headline this morning in the Ghanaian Times. BNI director and 1 other shot dead at installation of Queen Mother at Mankisim. And this BNI director, I wonder if it's a former one. Because, the details... so is the Infantsiman Municipal BNI director, Samuel Ampofo, who's been shot dead. That's a law enforcement agent right there. Let's hope that we can have some swift action to identify and arrest the perpetrators. Ghana poised to generate revenue from gas power, according to the president. 2 policemen detained for allegedly killing man 22. President leaves for Kenya to attend ACP Group Summit meeting. Details on page 17. And on the back page this morning, Ghana taps South Korea's expertise in nuclear technology. Ghana Water Company commissions water project at Okatabanman. That's also on the front page, on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Daily Guide real quick this morning. A BNI officer and student killed at Mankisim. A picture of Samuel Ampofo, the BNI director there. Baumia energizes youth. And this was at the NPP youth rally in Tamale over the weekend. President opens car power ship gas valve. And Nana preaches in church. Interesting. Okay, on the back page, Joshua reclaims crown in Arabia. Oh, what a fight that was. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Fascinating. Vice President leads NPP Youth Walk in Tamale. Details on the back. Nigerian grabs Goldfields PGA Cup. That was another interesting tournament over the weekend. The Finder newspaper next. And banner headline this morning, let's eat what we grow to motivate farmers and support the development of the local food industry. That's the president speaking. Government on course to secure parliamentary approval for 15.6 billion Ghana cedi bailout. That's the information minister speaking. I believe this is money that has already been spent. They are now going to parliament for ratification. Okay, NPP youth pledge to deliver victory in 2020. And 16,000 pupils receive free school uniforms costing 600,000 Ghana cedis from Brian Achampong Foundation. Okay, and let's see what's on the back page. Nothing on the back page of the Finder this morning. But we do have the Dispatch, the Daily Dispatch, and front page has these. Neither NPP nor NDC would win a first round victory. I think it should be nor, not or. And this is another aspect of the September-October 2019 Afrobarometer that is being reported here. Abu Jinapo escapes another car accident. I don't know if you saw the picture. Yeah, I spoke to him. Picture. Yeah, I spoke to him a few minutes after the accident. He was fine, but certainly quite a scare. They were all quite shaken. 4 people in the vehicle.
Traumatized and distraught, knowing that. Just camps, I think 2 months within the first one.
In the same area, and they was very close to their destination as well. It's a very good road. I think a tire burst on the vehicle. That's what caused the accident. They veered off the road and drove quite hard into a tree. Yeah. They were all unharmed. You know, airbags all deployed and everything. So everybody was safe.
I think further narration that I also got was that the tire did not burst initially, but it was the turn. It was in a curve. So the turn of the curve, I think, was too steep, or maybe was too sharp in the steering. So the tire then, you know, sometimes they have these the blocks that they tend to the concrete
on the edges of the road.
Yeah. So I think that was what burst the tire.
That's what burst the tire. I see. Okay. Well, all right. Okay, Major Retired Reader reveals one of the reasons for Rawlings' June 4th uprising. Well, let's be clear. Former President Rawlings has refuted what the retired general said. Retired Major. I
think he's issued a whole statement.
Retired Major.
Very narrative.
Yes. It's pretty much a letter to the retired Major, if you will. Very strongly worded. Yes. Okay, ex-President Kufuor and Rawlings and the non-publication of NRC's white paper. Okay. Back page, that detail about Major Retired Reader. And why Colonel Enimful and his wife were shot dead while having breakfast during June 4 uprising. Yeah, there's a picture of Rawlings under guard. Very rare picture of Rawlings under guard. Okay, that's me.
All right, so let's go to the Go Straight business. As on the front page, Ghana's 4th oil field nears development stage. And then we also do have on the front page, TUC advocates date change in executing 3-tier pension scheme. Ghana-Japan, though, bilateral relations deepen as Business Promotion Committee for both countries got to work. On the back page, Tractor Freak unveils new showroom, and then Vivo Energy Ghana interact with customers at Shell Customer Contact Day. Let's go to the new publisher. Has on the front page, 4 killed in shooting spree at the central region, 2 cops caged. The incident, I'm sure, happened in Mankasim until there was installation of Queen Mother. Subsequently, we had this.
So this
was a BNI
reports 4 killed and not 2.
4 killed, yes. That's what it says. Okay. Mother abandons twins at Children's Hospital. And then we do have Ianansi Libraries honor Mame Dokno Meanwhile, angry customers storm Zoe embassy over locked up cash. Apparently, the owner of the church was running a microcredit sort of a scheme, a service and loans company, sort of a.
But I read somewhere that he resigned.
Well, he's a shareholder ultimately. I mean,
I know. So I was wondering why he felt a resignation would make any difference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
angry
I read that
he's
resigned. Yeah.
To Korea capital. Okay. And then we have man slapped with 4,800 Ghana cedi fine for stealing ECG meters. That's an attached picture. Let's go to the Independent newspaper. Has on the front page, I don't recall being asked to refund $4,000. Rollins hit back at major reader. And this all being a reaction to the latest documentary on the subject of the June 4 uprisings and all that happened thereafter. SNIT gives pensioners January 2020 deadline to complete biometric registration. No matter her features, a girl below 16 has no right to say yes to sex. Police caution men. I also do know that there's been published reports indicating that more fathers are abusing their daughters subsequently. And in that discussion thereof,
fathers abusing their daughters.
Yeah. So fathers were cautioned not to be bathing their female children, especially when they're entering teenagehood.
Why does a teenager need to be bathed?
Well,
my son is 9 years old. He doesn't need to be bathed.
Yeah.
Why would a
because that's you.
Girl need to be bathed? Sure, I don't think I'm unique in that regard. You have children too. By the age of 9, were you bathing them?
No.
Yeah. So it does baffle me that a parent, would have to bath their children at
very 9, surprising.
At 13, 14, like teenagers, right?
Yeah, so I'm sure by the time they're 13, they're still bathing them. Why? But why should you bath? Yeah, surprising. Anyway. So we have the Ghanaian publisher. Teacher strike is illegal. It's a subject of our discussion this morning. The GES, the Coalition of Teachers, Ghana. And then we also have the Ghana National, or the National Association of Graduate Teachers, also declaring that strike action is...
When was the last time a strike was declared legal by the state?
No, never. I'm not sure.
I don't seem to recall any occasion.
There's a very long one back in the 90s, mid-late 90s for universities. That took about a whole academic year off. Yeah.
I was in university at the time.
Oh, then you enjoyed your holidays.
But was it declared legal?
No. It was illegal. I remember Kospio Gabra was Minister of Education at the time. Yeah. I interacted with him that time, and he said they were... it was not legal.
The state would never declare a strike legal.
Yeah. And so we have other stories. The car partnership to save electricity users some $170.5 million nearly, yearly. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo, the president, saying that blood service Lord Melcom calls for 100% voluntary blood donation. Baumia, meanwhile, is listing 87 major MPP achievements as a reduction from 100 that was achieved in the first 3 months of the MPP administration, but achievement nonetheless.
Or maybe some of them were simply not repeated because,
So 87 out of the 100 achieved?
No, these may be 87 new achievements.
Okay. 187 achievements so far. 15.6 billion Ghana cedis banking bailout request on course, according to the Information Minister, Kojo Nkrumah. The Today newspaper. That'll be our last one. The Today newspaper says, my conviction is fake. Is up there as a story. That's an inserted picture of Niko Tesusubribi, Onya Brempong, the first chief of Abenase community.
I confess it's not a conviction I'm aware of.
Rawlings hits back at retired soldier others. 2 cops in trouble and stop misinforming Ghanaians. NGOs to GIDEC. Okay, the story is interesting. I know you had an interaction with the boss of GIDEC.
We're about to. It had to be postponed. Yes, okay. So we're doing it today.
Okay.
Should be
Coalition of NGOs Against Mining, Konoma, in Itiwa. Okay. They have asked the GIADEC to stop misinforming Ghanaians on the bauxite development agenda. They've published a whole statement to the effect. Okay. You can get that in the Today newspaper. All right. Anything caught your eye?
Yeah, this thing with Major Rida and the former President Rawlings. I've noticed that most of the headlines are simply focusing on the Rawlings' response regarding the $4,000 claim that Major retired Rida made. And I mean, to clarify, the retired Major said a number of things. One of the things he said was that, well, the June 4 uprising wasn't really in response to some groundswell of people's desire for blood or, reform or anything. That it was mainly the former president himself whose personal circumstances had changed. He had become broke, so he got annoyed and decided to take up arms and, do something about it. And we had June 4. So when the former president responded, he responded to a number of things, not just the 4,000. In fact, the 4,000 was almost mentioned in passing. Former president was like, okay, so this your 4,000 you are mentioning, me, I don't remember it. But even if it did happen, it would make sense because I had some course that I had to go and do in India. And I had to cancel it.
And the stipend was 4,000.
That's right. I had to cancel that course to come back and help install General Ekufu. Rawlings was part of the, the soldiers who undertook that operation to replace Achampong with the Kufu. Yeah, so he said, yeah, I had to come back and do. So if there is some 4,000, it's probably that. But how do you say that the entire revolution was because I had to refund 4,000? And he also points to the fact that Rida himself was somebody who was in the know of all the actions that former president wanted to take. And that Rawlings had meetings with Rida about the uprising. He went to his house, said he spoke to him. And in fact, former president claims that there was one particular conversation that made him have misgivings about the retired major. That the retired major said made a racially derogatory, ethnically derogatory comment about someone who the former Rawlings was considering, to add to the team that were going to undertake the uprising. Major Rida said something derogatory about that person. And from that point onwards, the former president had misgivings. So there are a lot of things that the former president seems to be bringing out in response to the major's position, which he expressed in the interview with Raymond Akwa, that this whole uprising, it wasn't the people's desire. So I think at this point, it's up to us to also make a certain judgment. We don't have to rely on one person's word or the other. I mean, this uprising, we know what accompanied it. We know. We saw the headlines. Even if we were not there, we saw the headlines. We saw what people said. When Rawlings made that speech at his trial, we know the response that met that speech.
Or the ordinary Ghanaian.
So we don't have to rely on somebody's word. I think some of these things, we know what happened. History tells us. But now it's turned into a back and forth between the two, and there is now a need for the record to be set straight. The former president has not spoken on record in an interview about these matters, particularly the ones that Rida is raising.
In terms of the circumstances, apart from the official comment about why the coup was.
And I know that Raymond Akwa sought his opinion on many occasions, but he didn't choose to participate in the documentary that was done. Anyway, I think it's time for sports.
Yeah, definitely. So stay with us. We'll bring you sports next.